All right.
We are live.
Welcome to No Comics for Old Men.
You got chat pulled up?
I do not have chat pulled up. I'm pulling up chat now. 7 o'clock on the dot.
All right, look, we're on time.
Oh, volume? I'm too loud or
No.
there is no volume?
Turn the ringer off on your phone.
Oh, already done. My ringer is off. You will not be hearing my ringer.
Oh, so I guess that means I should probably shut my ringer off. I didn't even think of that. No one calls me anyway. No one cares.
So there's nobody watching right now yet anyway, so.
So
I
does
gotta
that mean
bring
I
up
could,
YouTube, so I have the chat.
I could take personal phone calls
Take
while we're waiting?
Yeah, while we're waiting. Oh, that's not YouTube. That's YouTube Music. There we go. I'm old and I haven't got my glasses yet, and I lost my last pair.
What are you waiting for?
I lost my last pair.
Oh,
And I said that this pair, this time I'm going to wear them.
that's good. You're going to get the chain that goes around your neck?
Yes, because otherwise I'll lose them like my last pair.
Just asking. I said,
All right.
I'm not ready to totally jump over to that side yet. It was that's like
what
2
happened?
steps away from wearing plaid and stripes together, you know, and playing water polo or whatever the hell it is.
Oh. How did I lost it?
What have you done?
Good thing nobody's watching because we don't know what we're doing right now.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to, I'm going to close it, see if when I open it, I'll go back to, I had us up and trying to bring the chat up. It didn't, I blew it, so. Yeah, what we're going to talk about anyway is, you know, FOCs, but not right off the bat. I'm going to talk a little bit about Substacks again, because it's been all over the internet after we did it. Every other big show did it. Of course, it's, you know, it's what's happening in the comic industry right now. It's big news, so we got to talk about it. And my thing went to Pat McAfee, so there we go. Here we go. We're live,
It's
and
alive,
I'm on
we're-
the chat, and there's 2 people watching,
Ooh.
and I'm one of them, and Rico is the other. All right, which we don't do enough. Big shout out to Bitter Rooster Productions that do our videos every week.
Make us look like we know what we're doing.
Yeah, and awesome graphics and all that stuff. That's all them. I don't do any of that stuff. I barely can do what I'm doing.
We talk. That's all.
That's it. You know,
That's
and
good.
by the number of subscribers, we're not even doing that right. Oh, by the way, share, like, subscribe. What else you got to do? Comment. Come down to the store while we're filming and be our studio audience. That's the next thing. We're going to start a studio audience, and that way we'll have viewers. And you'll have to have it on for the chat on so that you can chat to us instead of talk to us. How about that? Do you think that's a good idea? No.
Studio audience.
Studio audience.
Oh wow! We can bore people in real time. That'll be great.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, so talked about Substacks last week.
I was not here for
You,
that.
you weren't here, but have you seen the big move? All the a lot of the writers and a few of the artists are moving over to this newsletter content.
Is that
with a
the thing
paywall.
that? Is that what the thing that James Tynion's joined? Okay, so
Yeah, so
it's
Tinian's
kinda
been on
like-
it for a
okay.
while. Tynan has been on it for a while.
Tiny Onion.
Yep. And then the company, I guess he's been pretty successful. So the company went out and, you know, tried to get some other guys and got Scott Snyder and he got Scotty Young. My bet is you'll see Donnie Cates in a couple of days, you know, or in a week because he was defending it in a big way.
What? No, I'm not. I only kind of like breezed past one of the articles with him where that's where he's going to take he's leaving Batman and then he's
Yeah,
gonna
Tinian's leaving
concentrate more
Batman. He's going to
on,
concentrate on this, creating
Rare and stuff.
content for people. So there's a founders. He's doing a founders level, which is $250,
Mhm.
and you'll have the ability to get all these variant covers of anything he does, but they're only going to be available to founders.
Oh, so you have to pay a certain fee to just
You pay the $250 up for. It's not a year. I think it's just a one time to be a founder, and then you'll have to buy
the regular issue.
the issues. But you'll have the option to.
So it's like a print on demand kind of thing, like a Kickstarter almost. Like they you get the money.
Similar,
like,
but they're not doing on demand. More like a Kickstarter where this is how many we're doing.
Oh yeah, we need this much money to do the run or whatever it is.
No, it's you people have. I have 500 subscribers and 200 founders. So I'm going to make 200 or 500 for the subscribers, the monthly subscribers. They'll get the regular cover, and all the founders will get the other cover.
Okay. So you just want to read the books. You just pay a fee or something,
right?
Or is it like a yearly or monthly fee or something, and
a monthly fee, and I think you get a discount if you do it yearly. I think it's $75 for the year or $7 a month.
Huh. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah. So
I've
his
only just
Razor
heard
Blade
about
books, you know that you got, and they blew up like crazy.
Those are really good too. Really good.
Had we all been reading his newsletter, we would have knew they were coming, and we could have got them and not paid exorbitant fees for them. But
I came into all that a little too late. Something about the children and stuff like that. Like I knew who he was as far as writing Batman, but I didn't really find any of his creator-owned stuff till maybe a few months ago.
Right.
Like 6 or 8 months ago. It's really good stuff. But this is interesting. It's just they're, I don't know, trying to.
A lot of people are saying this is going to be a flash in the pan, whatever. It's a disruption to the industry, right?
Because it's
and when
new and
disruptions and disruptions are opportunities to create to value and.
I think it's good because it's putting the creators in more control of what you have, and I think it's more fan interactive. It seems like it would be too. You know,
people think that like this is not going to be as successful. If you had 1,000 subscribers at $7 a pop, that's $7,000 a month. That's pretty successful.
I think because you're going to get name guys like him, like Scott Schneider and stuff. You're going to have those guys will have the locked-in audience. I don't know if like a smaller independent guy might be really able to do. Like,
and I don't know what artists could offer. Like even if they're offering like I'm going to put out a limited edition print. How many just really just want to print?
Yeah.
Right. Scotty Young writes and draws, so like he can do his own. I get that, but I heard Capullo's coming over. Now I love his art. Yeah. Do I own some of his prints? Yes, but would I subscribe to it monthly?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
I don't know for prints.
Unless it was in correlation with a book, you know.
Right.
It's like so that he's the artist on the book, and whatever you put so much money in, you get rare. You know, you get a print or whatever it is, something like that. But like you were saying, just from an artist, but maybe if I would buy a print, I'd probably only buy one from an artist. You know, it was like I don't, as much as I like a guy's artwork, I don't want 50 pieces of the same guy's art like hanging all over my house.
Especially a print. Originals, now,
well, that's a whole different story. Yeah,
if your model is if you're Greg Capullo and you're saying that like, oh, I'm going to start selling off all my original pages. Yeah. But you have to be a member. Oh yeah. To have. I would sign up for that. You know.
I think what you're going to see too is this is going to evolve as it goes on, and as people get more into it. But I don't think it's going to be a flash in the pan. Like I don't know. Oh, this is the wave of the future. But I think it's just another alternative to get your comics and to creators to get their stuff out of there to kind of not really deal with the publishers and all that other stuff.
Scott Snyder's teaching comic book writing.
Oh, he is.
Yeah. Oh. So one of his so there's going to be 2 newsletters a week. If you're subscribed, you'll get both. You can be free and you'll get one, and that'll just be about the stuff he's doing in the future, what comics are coming up, and like talking about the industry and stuff. And then the other one will be just like the class on writing.
Comic Writing 101.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. I'd like
some
to
of the great writers that are Tinian himself took some writing classes with.
I remember reading about that.
And they became great friends, and you can see how proud Scott is that
it's taken on.
That his career has done so well. I think that he probably saw that when he was teaching him that this guy had a lot of potential.
Yeah, I would think so, because he kind of helped him get his foot in the door in the industry. So
I don't ever hear Scott ever take credit for that, but I mean,
probably not. He's not. That
Scott was working at DC and comes into DC. I mean, I'm sure he got somebody to read it.
I'm sure it didn't hurt to have him just say, "Hey, this kid's good."
Hey, I taught this kid and he's really good. Yeah. So
never hurts.
Never hurts.
It doesn't. I mean, it's something to definitely watch out for. I think. Like the thing that gets me, it was like, as soon as with the one article that I read about going over to them, it's the same thing. Like everybody's like, oh, it's a dumb move. It's this is not going to work. It was like so immediately out of the gate, everybody's like, like you said, it's not the norm for the comic industry, so automatically it's bad and nobody wants to deal with it. And it was like, well, why not? It was like you got to change with the friggin' times,
There's a bunch of comics that I can't name that are only on the internet that are hugely successful.
Yeah.
That have never come to print. I think some of the trade paperbacks end up going to print and then out to the Patreons, but there is a bunch of
there's
stuff
like a sea of them out there that it's just it's online comics and that's all it is. There's
and then
no print.
They sometimes put them together into a trade paperback, and the only people that know about them are the people who are reading them all the time. So and then they're getting the thing so they can give them to other people that don't read the stuff on the websites.
Yeah.
There's people that just have a Kickstart career that like have just put out they couldn't get a job in comics. They decided to kickstart their own, and they're on their like 10th or 15th Kickstarter comic.
It's you have to expand with the times. I mean, digital is a huge format. People love. I mean, I'm still old school. I like to have the solid thing in my hand
but we're old men.
And read it. Well, yeah, I mean, but I'm not like that's the thing. It was like I'm not against digital stuff.
Right.
I mean, I get some digital stuff because I can put a whole 50 issues on my Kindle Fire and bring it everywhere, and I don't have to worry about losing them or
damaging them.
Yeah, getting damaged or stuff like that. It's a good thing, and I think comics need to progress and evolve with the technology. Right. Otherwise, what's going to happen is we're going to be this old archaic friggin'. It's this. Yeah, it'll be like a really cult thing, and I mean, not that. I mean, it always kind of was, but if it's ever going to go past where it is,
the real comic collectors is such a small percentage.
Yeah,
it's like
we're getting old and dying off.
Right.
So you got to move with the technology. And,
most of us were all readers
interested.
First, right? We all read first. When we were kids, we didn't think about keeping our comics good. It was like 4 or 5 years into it, we started making sure that they were in boxes and stuff like that. Because
when you first got them, you didn't take care of them. You rolled them up, put them in your back pocket, reading them.
Showed them handed them to your buddy, traded with your friends.
You took the cover and you folded it over to the side and you read it. Which now, if I see when people do that, I just go.
We used to take them to Mike Fusco's house in our back pocket.
Yeah, you used to carry them, or you would find stuff at the flea market, torn cover, and whatever it was. It was all beat up.
Oh, I want to read that.
Yeah, it was still. I got it for like a quarter, 50 cents or whatever. It was like I don't care if it's a back edition, I can still read it.
Right.
It's like I don't know. Now I've developed that collector's mentality. It was like I like to keep shit.
But that's why if we could get them to read it anywhere. On a website, on their Kindle, whatever. Get them reading, because at some point they're going to start collecting, and then they're going to want the floppies, right? You got to have the floppies. Or maybe if they become a trade paperback reader, then at least the money's getting back to the creators and to the companies.
As like you said,
Marvel and DC could care less if we ever bought another comic. They will still print them, and they'll still go on shelves, because that's the intellectual property that they're using to make real money with T-shirts, hats, T-shirts.
Marketing.
Right? This T-shirt probably cost less money than it did to make a comic book, and they probably made 10 times the profit on the one T-shirt.
Mass producing it,
right? Because I probably paid near $30 for this T-shirt, and it probably cost them $4.
Oh yeah, but it's a big company, so they buy in bulk.
They might even cost them less than that, and it's just one red print. Like that's it.
That's what seems to be happening with bigger companies too. Is it's more looked at as an intellectual property than let's just make a cool comic. It's like let's make a cool comic book that can go. We can do this, and we can do that. We can do that. It was like make a good comic, and then
when we were young, though, I hate to do this because it's such an old man thing, but in the '80s, the small comic book companies were really just trying to make content, right? Yeah. They wasn't about the IP. They never had the dream of. But now all the small comic book companies are all about, can we get a movie made of this? Let's try to reverse engineer this movie. Like we pitched it as a movie, nobody wanted it, so we're going to re-engineer it into a comic book. Yeah. And then when it's been in print, then maybe the studios will want it.
Which is cool, but like when early days of comics, I think it still is to a point, but not as bad. Like it was looked at more like kids stuff.
Yeah. And
and then you didn't have the technology to make superhero movies, so when they did make them, they made them pretty bad.
Bad,
yeah. So it was like another thing. So then it looks, you saw a bad movie you might not know about comics, but you saw, I don't know, the Captain America with the rubber ears TV movie or whatever it was, and that was your introduction to comics. You'd be like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to read that. That ain't for me. It's cheesy, it's corny, it's bad. And it was like, no, it's not. You know.
But it was huge for the toy market.
Well,
comics were big for the toy market.
I mean, but they were more targeting a younger audience still, or like adolescents, teens, maybe early 20s. It was like, now it's just like we just throw a bunch of shit at the wall, but everything is like, seems like it's almost tailor made to how can we make action figures and T-shirts and all this shit, which is not a bad idea, a bad thing, but make the comic good first. That's my main argument. Just make the book good. And it was like, but then, if the book's good, then, movie companies may come look at you. And then you have the chance, you build an audience. You got people who want to buy your T-shirts and stuff like that. Right. If you have a crappy book, I got 50 characters and this will make a great movie, but it sucks. Who cares?
Look, Todd's been trying to get the reboot of Spawn remade for a long time now.
Yeah, and the original was successful. It was like, it wasn't like it was a bomb.
The crazy thing is that King Spawn sells 497,000, and the next day they have a writer is attached to write the new movie.
Because that's it too.
Because people jump on the bandwagon. Yeah. Just set up the bandwagon. Everybody's getting on.
I think and. To his credit, maybe that's part of the reason why he's looking to kind of expand the line, because now Spawn's getting more attention again, and even like old fans like me, who I haven't read Spawn in freaking decades, and it's like now there's a new series. It's like, I want to check it out just to see what it is. It's been a long time. Let's see what he's doing. I like Sean's writing too, so there's another reason to pick up the first couple of issues and just see where it goes. And I guess it worked because it was like all of a sudden they're like, wow, we got almost 500,000 people bought the comic. But
segue, we have a signing, King Spawn, on Wednesday, August 25th, the day it comes out. We no longer have any 1 in 50s left. It is sold out. I had 5 of them because I got 250 issues. We are going to have the 1 in 250, but that is going to be a lot of money. I'm not going to sell mine until I find out what color ink I got, because Todd just announced that he did a few in blue ink and a few in green ink that will not. Most of them are in this red ink, and so
it'll be even rarer.
Yes, yeah. So there's some, and nobody will know the exact number of blues and greens there are.
So then, what would be rarer? You think a number 1 in 250 in red, or say like 50 in green? 50 in 250?
No. So the 1 in 250 is for every 250 issues of Spawn.
Not that, like, you have like 1 in 250, 2 in 250, 3 in 250. But I'm saying 1 in 250 in red, or 50 of 250 in green.
Like a higher number with a different ink.
Well, the different ink is, we don't know how many. He may have done 5 blues or 5. We don't know how many yet. I don't know if he announced it. I didn't get to have the volume up where I was watching it. I couldn't have the volume on when he was talking about. I think he just said that he had done a few in blue and a few in green. So it's a few of the. Actually, there's 1,600 and I think 47 1 in 250s. So a 1 in 250 means that for every 250 comics printed, they printed one of these. And he signed every single one of them and numbered them from 1 to 1,647. So there's really 1,647 of them, because there was 497,000 issues of King Spawn 1 printed. And that includes all the covers.
That's a little too much math for me to have.
Yeah. So that's all the A through G covers.
That's interesting. So Todd runs out of red ink and the price goes up.
Possibly.
To have that power.
I don't know. I to me, Todd's a little bit the modern day P.T. Barnum. I think that he had that green and blue in his hand.
Probably.
Like he came to he's like, oh wait, all these people who said they pre-sold them on eBay.
Yeah.
Right, for $600 a piece. They haven't gotten them yet. They're already sold. So when they get it, they're going to have to ship it to whoever they got it for, right?
Yeah.
Whoever bought it. And then if you got a green or a blue, that person got it for that $600. And that may be $1,000 book now.
Yeah, that's...
So if you bought it on eBay...
It is a business.
And your order gets canceled, you'll know why. Because they got a green or blue copy, you ain't getting it. They're going to put it back up for sale. But yeah, so I think some great things are happening in comics. A lot of people are doomsaying. I mean, I have some problems with DC. I kind of think I have it. I mean, I'm pretty sure I have it figured out. A buddy of mine who's another dealer, mostly does internet work, is I can piggyback with him if I want. And we'll work out a deal where I don't take as big a hit as they want to give me because I don't buy as many books. And maybe he's able to buy some 1 in 25s because of my added number of books or whatever.
I don't know. DC, they're still in that state of flux. We don't know where the hell they're
going.
I
mean, there's some word that they're going to do mostly prestige books, so they're going to be square bound. That, to me, kind of sounds like they want to go mass market because the square bounds survive at Walmart way better than the floppies do. Maybe they have a deal with a new, like, Target or somebody else other than Walmart.
See, like, a lot of that stuff I don't think really translates as well in graphic novels, you know, like ongoing stories. It was like I always prefer the singles for those, especially, you know, like a Batman or Superman, because usually it's a couple of issues and then the story changes in a couple of issues, and I don't know, that just do trades like that.
No, it's not trade. Remember the old Prestige?
I know what you mean,
skinny square bounds.
Yeah, it's similar, but now
they're
you're gonna jack the price up because
it's gonna be $8 a piece.
Yeah, you know, like that.
They're gonna have some backstory you don't care about.
Yeah.
Right?
There'll probably be some filler in there too.
Yeah.
It was like that. That's, I don't know. If certain things I could see, like if they're, you know, they were doing the, not the Black Mass, the imprint they were doing, like Joe Hill's like that, the Black Label, which is basically Vertigo with Karen Berger. But anyway, you know, like stuff like that would kind of be cool and get a little bit of, you know, like a self-contained story or something like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe like 4 prestige format things like that, but to do an ongoing thing like constantly like that, like I have to buy Batman every month and drop $8 on one book, you know, or what are they gonna do, quarterly then? It was like, I don't think they would do something like that, because if you're gonna, you know, if it's not monthly, it's kind of defeats the purpose of the, people forget, you know, you lose interest. It was like, if I'm following a bi-monthly book, sometimes I just forget, and all, but you know, you go in the store and I'm like, oh, I'm like 2 issues behind. I was wondering what happened with that, you know. Oh, it's bi-monthly. It was like, you know, I can't really mark it. I don't mark stuff on my calendar, you know. Batman comes out tomorrow.
I'm a super comic fan, and I'm not I mean, I run a comic business, and I can't keep track of them.
Yeah, you know.
Do you know how many comics come out every week that I got to keep track of? It's not happening.
I mean, the one thing I can say, it'll be interesting to see what they do, and if they do something interesting and innovative, you know, or if they're just, you know, I don't know, gonna give us the shaft.
Every so many years, there's always a shakeup. Always.
Yeah. Well,
always.
I think overall that's usually a good thing. You know, when the dust settles, you might have a new direction to go in.
Whenever they see the numbers slipping a little bit, we don't see the numbers that they see. Whenever they see them slipping a little bit, they make big changes to try to bring back. They'll do something exciting. I think DC, other than Tiny, and who else has been like creating new characters for DC? Flash hasn't had a new character in it in I don't know how long. Aquaman they cut. Aquaman's not even happening right now. So not running him. I mean, it's pretty much 10 Batman books and 6 Superman books.
Yeah.
I mean, making Jonathan Kent the new Superman is not a new character. He's been around 4 or 5 years now. So they did Crime Syndicate. That's just a rehash. That's not any new. Like, create some excitement. Like Marvel, at least,
they're trying a little harder. Yeah,
always throwing new characters at it, and some, you know, some hit and some don't. But some hit 6 or 10 years down the road.
Yeah,
you know.
That's I think one of the things you're going to see more of is guys who are doing that work for hire stuff for the bigger companies. A little more hesitant